Dear learners, have you ever wondered that the air quality index of certain cities like New Delhi is flashing from orange to red, warning us about the polluted air?
Have you ever pondered that how a drop of blood, or a spoon of honey, or even a puff of air can tell you an entire story about its composition?
Although they seems to be two different problems, but they are deeply connected with each other. The air we breathe in, the water we drink, and the food we eat, they have a strong influence on the overall well-being of human beings. And in order to ensure the quality, it is only possible with the help of analytical techniques, which helps and act as a foundation for every modern science, because all course of sciences depends upon data, data of the quality and the purity of a material, and that is ultimately generated with the help of analytical techniques. This is Dr. Mohammed Zain, working as assistant professor in the Department of Industrial Chemistry at Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh.
My name is Dr. Shahab Ali Asghar Nami and presently serving as Associate Professor of Chemistry at Department of Industrial Chemistry, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh.
Together, we are presenting a MOOCs course on advanced analytical techniques, in which we are focusing on two fundamental aspects of analytical techniques. One is spectroscopy and the other is chromatography. They both are mainly the basis for all the research that is being going on, all the industrial work, whether it is a pharmaceutical industry or even a paint industry or something which is related to chemical industry. In each and every industry, in order to check the purity of the raw materials as well as the finished product that we are using, we heavily rely on analytical techniques. So in this course, while spectroscopy covers the purity as well as the structure of a compound, on the other hand, chromatography is mainly focused upon the separation of mixtures. After attending this course, you will learn the fundamental principles of these techniques, and it will also enable you to operate the sophisticated instruments, to interpret the data, as well as apply these principles to real-world problems. The first two units are basically devoted to atomic absorption and atomic emission spectroscopy. That is the first unit, and the second unit is devoted to molecular luminescence spectroscopy. The atomic absorption and atomic emission techniques are basically used for the detection of heavy metals, and we can also detect some metalloids, and with AES we can at least go up to some non-metals as well for their detection in water, blood, or any other type of liquid sample. On the other hand, the second unit, molecular luminescence spectroscopy, is mainly devoted to fluorescence and phosphorescence, where the main focus is to analyze the organic compounds. Along with that, we can also use the principles of quenching, and we can then determine the presence of some heavy metals as well.
So in the next units, that is unit 3, we will be developing the concept of chromatography, about its classification, and of course some of the basic terminology involved in chromatography. While unit 4 will be dealing with the more advanced technique of separation that is called as gas chromatography, simply GC, or the high performance liquid chromatography that is called as HPLC. In unit 3, we will be dealing with the principles of chromatography, where the solute molecules are going to interact, migrate, and finally resolve into peaks when they travel through the column. This type of chromatography, which is the simplest chromatography, is generally called as elution chromatography, and here the driving force is the gravitational pull. So here we are going to develop the concept of retention time, the selectivity factor, and of course the resolution, which is the most important, where we are going to interplay with these fundamental principles to get the best optimized separation of our sample. While unit 4 will be dealing to more advanced techniques of separation, that is called as GC and HPLC. In GC, we are going to study the separation of the volatile compounds when they travel along the column of GC, which is also called as the heart of GC. Then these will be analyzed by some very sturdy equipment that is called as the detectors. These detectors will be of different types depending upon the nature of the sample which is to be separated. We will be dealing with the electron capture detector, the thermal conductivity detector, the flame ionization detector, and we will discussing the mass spectrometer detector, which is very helpful in not only identifying the compound, but it also gives you an idea about its structure. While in unit 4, that is called as the HPLC, we will be studying almost all the compounds. It is said that this HPLC can resolve any compound which can be dissolved. So in HPLC, we are going to see the separation of thermally labile compound, of complexes, of biological compounds, everything. So here, high pressure is required, and that is why it is termed as high pressure liquid chromatography. So after learning all these 4 units, I suppose that you will be having a good idea about the separation of these techniques, and also you can get an idea that how you are going to check the purity of sample, how you are going to analyze the different samples. Also, you get an idea about the instrumentation of these fundamental techniques of separation, so that you will be engaged in the material which is provided to you all through those 4 chapters. You will also get a hands-on experience of the instrumentation, and you also work the problems which is given in throughout the lectures. So I wish you a very happy and fruitful learning. Thank you.